I'm your host, Lou Carter, founder of Most Loved Workplace. The Leader Show brings together executives and leading thinkers to bring into focus our collective purpose and passion for what we do and where we do it. The search for occupational fulfillment, happiness, pride, and passion starts here. Robert Dusik is an applied informatics graduate from the University of Zilnia in Slovakia, where he spent nearly 6 years in Vienna, Austria, as an IT freelancer specializing in software engineering for a major global insurance and financial services firm. TITANS Freelancers is currently ranked number 51 on the 2023 Global Top 100 Most Loved Workplaces list. He contributed to developing the company's largest insurance system and managed application processes, system database optimization, and team communication. Robert is also the co-founder and group CEO of TITANS Freelancers. Today, I look forward to talking to Robert about how he became a most loved workplace and why it's so important to him and his business success. It's great to have Robert Dusik on, CEO of TITANS. Wow, this is very cool because Robert is a self-described geek and proud. That's what he says. And he also prides himself on being a great father. He cherishes that role. And a Titan where he's dedicated to his profession and really learning right now, where he has been inspired from ancient Greek philosophy and mythology, all of his underpinnings of his work and how that, as becoming a most loved workplace, has really helped him in his business and in developing his philosophy and really learning about what the Titan's way is and how that is so well aligned with most loved workplace and how that helps with what he does to be a more engaged, high-performing workforce to also help his customers. Robert, nice to see you. Tell us where you're calling in from and where your company is in the world.
Hi, Lou. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me in the first place. Right now, I'm in Bratislava, Slovakia, so right the heart of the center of Europe, basically.
Center of Europe. And this is wonderful. What a great time to be talking with you and learning from you and learning about your business, number one, what is happening with your customer base, right? And how that's perhaps, how you do business with most loved workplace being the core of that now, how you've brought that in, the Spark model. And so let's start it up. Let's figure out where we should go from here. So how did you do it, first of all? Because I want to talk a little bit about the code of ethics, but how did you become a most loved workplace in where you are in Europe? Tell me more. Yeah.
Basically, the fun fact is that when we started the company, like 11 years ago, we never thought of a culture itself, how the culture should look like in the company. But when I'm talking we, I mean Marek and me. We are two co-founders of the company and two co-CEOs until now. And basically, we agreed to have something like a code. We can call it like values that we use when we are communicating, cooperating to each other. And basically, we decided there will be three pillars. We build the communication and we built a relationship on. And it is competence on the first place, and reliability and a fairness. And from now on, we started to cooperate. And basically, after the 5 years, when we already had some stuff, we had a kind of a workshop together when we asked our people in a team what would they say, what our values really are. And all of them, basically on their own, they aligned to those values. We had more of them, but when we decided to prioritize the three of them, we came to those. So I believe this is the best appreciation if your people see the same values as you decided to build your business upon after telling them. So it means that they saw us possibly as role models, and we did a great job in finding the right people in who we seeked the same values, and it just went from one to another and from one to another. And in past few years we have grown rapidly, but I'm still very happy to say that people share those values with us.
This is great. You've grown rapidly. What accounted for your growth, and how have you enabled that growth to build at scale with your culture?
The most significant thing was that 2 years ago, we started to building another layer in management, C-level management. It was a game changer because until then, it was mostly us and the people in more of a direct communication. So it was much easier to show and send those values to those people. But once we decided to be C-level management, we needed to find some people who will be able to transfer those values a little bit lower. So it was a quite challenging process, and it always starts with us on a very proper interviewing process that usually takes a little bit longer, but we pay very much attention to detail because we know that if we do, it will pay off later. And it did. At the moment, there are 6 C-level managers who are cooperating together between each other, but we are working with them intensely, and we have created a C-level academy where those people try to find the ways how to work, how to communicate together, and how can they shift those values and those things to the people below them.
So tell me more about the academy. So how has this helped with business and in general to help you with your growth, or was it more your internal culture?
Well, yeah, of course, it is linked. Because we found out that it is very nice to have a great chief sales officer, chief marketing officer, chief recruitment officer, and so on, but they might work like individuals, finding the best for the particular teams. But we wanted to them work closely together so they can move the whole firm towards the vision and mission we share with Marek. And we just figure out with the help of other company, it is called, well, it's a Forbes Ideal Place that is under the brand of Forbes magazine. And they are helping us using several tools, like, for example, Pulse Check, that is measuring the pulse within the company based on the culture, based on regular feedback rounds, one-to-ones, and so on. We are harnessing all of it. We are bringing it on the table with C-level managers, and we are discussing how actions of one department or one manager affects the other one. And we are trying to find the ways how to communicate to achieve one goal, the simple goal of our company, to be the choice number one for IT freelancers we cooperate, and to be choice number one for the clients we provide IT specialists to.
Got it. So it's really a way for everybody to be aligned with the vision as well as sell better, right? So, and serve your customers and represent that one goal and vision.
Well, of course, yeah. Let me just say that we were never fans of long statements and sentences. We just decided to say, if we are the number one, if they are the first choice for the customers, if we are the first choice for the freelancers, we are doing well. And then there is a tremendous amount of work putting that and dismantling it into smaller chunks to explain to each department what it really represents for recruitment, what it really represents for sale, what it really represents for other departments, finance, marketing, IT department, and so on.
You know, I'm wondering too, you have such a cool vision, right? And I'm wondering how does protecting the environment and human rights apply to that, right? I want to learn more about your perspective on that. You actually have a company vision that you respect uniqueness, individual uniqueness, and prioritizing environmental and human rights. Tell me more about your beliefs around this and how that connects to your overall vision for being the number one provider of IT.
Well, it is very easy. First of all, it comes from the very top to the bottom. So me and Marek, we are both people who appreciate and who values other human beings, regardless their beliefs, regardless their nationality, and so on. And it is something that is like put into the stone in this company, and it shows to other people that everybody is welcomed here, unless or until they stick to the values we have, stick to the values we share. We are open to LGBTQ plus community, because mainly in this particular era, in this particular age, it's very important to us. And also because of the narrative and political situation in Slovakia that goes a little bit against of it. So we really think that we need to be something like some kind of the standpoint here in Slovakia, showing it doesn't really matter who are you cooperating with, unless the cooperation is set on the right values and on the right, or like fairness, like reliability, and it goes all right, well, hand in hand together.
That's excellent. I mean, you're really taking a stance in an environment that doesn't necessarily support it, and there's risks associated with that.
It's our job and it's our duty, and we basically don't really care about the risk associated, because it's very important and it's very crucial thing, and a signal that you set out to the company and to the society, and the other companies and the other leaders are joining. There are very nice communities of companies, very strong names that join together to support the idea of it. And we are very proud of being members of such a community.
There are, they call them like anti-gay laws in some parts of Europe, right? And have you found any objectivity or objection, right? Not objectivity, it'd be different. Objection to your stance on human rights that have been from political leaders or other leaders, or are you finding more openness and awareness to such a stance?
Well, I would say it's a. We are in a what we see and what we really feel is that there is no special pressure against the company of our own, because those people who sit in the parliament or in the government, they don't really care about the companies and their life within. What they care about is populism, and what kind of signal they show to people, and about the masses they take with them on the route. And we just need to live our lives setting the principles and some kind of the messages that it's not all right, because once you take those people, once you take the community within, nothing changes for you. Everything's all right and it's working. So by leaving an example, I still believe is the best way how to show the rest of the world, the rest of the citizens, the rest of the country, that it's viable working mechanism. If it works in the USA, if it works in the Netherlands, there's no chance it shouldn't work in Slovakia as well.
How awesome of you to do this, Robert. It's really impressive. It wasn't until 1962 in Slovakia, right, that same-sex activity was legalized. And even now, civil unions still have not been completely legalized. And yet there are some significant movement in those areas with various legal activities. So you're really taking a stance against such thinking. That's extremely forward thinking of you.
It's not. It's of course just not only us, and I wouldn't take a pride for that, because there are plenty of respectful companies and people who can see the good from the bad, and basically just need to stick to the right side. I would say it's not a political type of the thing. It's a principle type of what kind of the person you want to be.
And this kind of brings you to doing the right thing, right? I think it's awesome what you're doing, and how and this is around your really who you are as a company, and maintaining reliability, quick response times, timely feedback, right? And this meeting financial obligations, this kind of social responsibility, sustainability principles seem to be at the core of what you do.
Well, of course. Well, we are in a an era of business. We are in a type of the business where time is very crucial, because we are usually required to deliver kind of the specialists within the very short time frame, and it's up to us to be very quick and effective on the other side. On the other hand, and we realized that from the very beginning, me and Marek, we both are IT guys. We are both programmers. We have studied programming, and we worked as an engineers, and then we decided to start this new concept based on those values, but of course based on some very analytical approach. And as a programmer, it is very close to us. It has always been. So we have been always thinking about the company as about programming a software. So first we made an analysis, then we tested it, and then we decided to do the first software on our own. And when we had a software solution, we decided, okay, we can bring up the first member of a team, so he can use the power of computing, because we should use the computer power for those things people shouldn't do. And on the other hand, on contrary, we should only use the people for those things computer cannot. And then you can achieve something very unique, where effectiveness is growing rapidly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the growth and rapid growth that is what's interesting about what's happening there and how that happened, right? Is because of you coming out and saying, expressing how you can be open, sustainable, meet financial obligations, showing your responsibility as an outstanding employer, and really also ensuring compliance in PDPA, because that's so important, right? And being because you're able to do that and able to provide that to the world with global companies that provide IT services, and that is of tantamount importance. How do you ensure that compliance in your company? How do you make sure that happens?
Well, I always say it is never a result of one action. To be honest, by building up a strong strategy that stands on the legs of code of ethics that is coming out from our values, putting it all together, it makes a great mixture and cocktail of resulting into such a thing like being compliant with almost everything that is very necessary to be compliant in the modern world. So it is basically that you have to work in a timely manner. You have to use technology. You have to innovate in every other way. Basically, it's that you have to take responsibility for your own actions. You have to build up rules and norms simultaneously, and it all results in something that might be called a success. But I always say there's nothing older than yesterday's success. So it's a constant thing that has to be done every day, from single morning until the evening, and then again and again and again.
Outstanding. That's exactly right. And so let's go back to culture, right? And then we'll kind of take it from there. Is what's important to you and for your clients, right? For sort of a common culture, do you find that they want some similar things from your freelancers, and what are those similar things that you see?
Definitely. And on one hand, the funny thing is we are using technology and a proprietary made ecosystem. This is one thing. This is working on itself. But on the other hand, it's a work of people, for people, with people on everyday basis. And we never pride ourselves to say that we find the best IT specialists. No, there are other companies to find the best IT specialist. What we do, we say that we are the best matchmakers. And there's a crucial difference, because we need to understand properly, listen very carefully to what customer says, not just from the technical point of the expectation, but also from the other set of the expectations, like what sort of team it is. Is there a guy needed to be introvert or extrovert? And we need to put it together. Then we go to our systems, we take out the results, and at the end, it's a work of senior recruiters to match it properly so we can bring the right guy to the right position. Otherwise, it will not be working. And so you don't have to find the best of the best to the position that does not require the best. You need to find the guy who's going to be happy there in the environment, in the team, and then the relationship can be very long-term and prosperous for each party involved.
Absolutely. The prosperity for each party and your connection and commitment to excellence and everything you do is more than apparent as a proud dad, self-ascribed geek, and a Titan through and through with all of your values and the way in which you live and work your life. In your life, you are definitely someone that I admire and really have appreciated having you today on our Leader Show. Thanks for joining us, Robert Dusik.
I thank you very much for the invitation. It was lovely to share some ideas with you, Lou.
You too, Robert.